I started smoking when I was about 10 years old. Back when it was cool and your mom would send you to the store with a note saying, buy cigarettes, please.
I've been smoking for about 49 years, but actually I had my first cigarette when I was about 5 or 6. My friend and I stole some tobacco from our parents and some papers and went over to the junkyard into an old car and rolled up a cigarette and coughed and choked and threw up and all the other fun stuff that goes along with the first cigarette.
So I started smoking when I was around 17, and then it was quite sporadic, and I didn't smoke that much or anything like that. But of course, as the years progressed, I started smoking more frequently and became more of a full-time smoker.
Well, I had my first cigarette when I was 12 years old. I snuck a pack from my stepdad's carton of cigarettes, and then I went to my friends for the weekend. Her parents allowed us to experiment, and we smoked the whole pack of cigarettes over the weekend. But to be as expected, I was in big trouble once I returned home. And I didn't try smoking again until I was 15. And I worked in a coffee shop, and a customer offered me one of his cigarettes, which was an Avanti, and I fell in love instantly.
I have tried 4 times now.
Yes, I have. I've had two attempts.
I've quit twice before. The first time I used the laser therapy, and for me, it worked. I don't know. I had quit for about 1.5 years then. And then, of course, I started again because between boredom and stress and whatnot, it was just easier to light up a smoke and take a 5-minute break kind of thing from the rest of the world. The second time was about 10 years after that. But I only lasted about 9 months that time. I've tried a few more times since, but it's a day here, a week, nothing permanent.
I've had so many quit attempts. It's kind of like a running joke, or it was a running joke with my friends, because I'm always quitting smoking. I was always quitting smoking. I have quit smoking for many periods of time, like months, probably 1 year at the longest, as well as when I was pregnant with both of my kids, I didn't smoke. But for some reason, I just kept going back.
Well, over the years, I said I would only quit smoking if they quit making Avanti, that certain brand that, was my love, the love of my life. And I kind of came close 25 years later, but they only rebranded to Avanti and into Vogue. So they didn't really quit making them. So I didn't really quit smoking them.
Honestly, I'm tired of smoking. I like to think I'm still the cool kid on the block, but smoking's not cool anymore.
I've decided to reduce my smoking and hopefully eventually totally quit altogether for my health mostly. My husband died of hardening of the arteries, which they tell me is one of the contributors of smoking. So as that, that's kind of number one. I really don't want to die.
I think generally, especially because I'm getting older, there's health for sure. Health is in having a healthy body, as well as just sort of noticing differences like in my skin or that kind of thing. Just thinking that at this point I wanted to try and maintain youth. And smoking wasn't really helpful for that. So, and then, as well, just the price of smoking just keeps increasing. So it just seems like a ridiculous thing to spend money on.
I really started to hate how cigarettes, my life revolved around smoking, and I hated smelling bad. I hated coughing all the time. I hated worrying about when I could sneak out for a cigarette again. But mostly I just really wanted to be a better role model for my children and grandchildren.
Be honest, be open to yourself and to new ideas and new perspectives, because you're only seeing things through your own eyes. But in this group, you get to a little glimpse of what everybody else's eyes are seeing. And sometimes there's an idea that you didn't even think of because you weren't seeing it that way. So it gives you a chance to see it through somebody else's eyes and perspective, and then wrap your head around it and kind of bring it into your own.
I learned how to set smoking goals to quit with the aid of the NRTs. And then the peer support was just amazing part of it. You know, just when you're in a group all doing the same thing, it seems to be more helpful.
Throughout the sessions of QuitCore, I have learned we all have different reasons for why we smoke, why we want to quit. Mine is mostly habitual and boredom. I use smoking as a reason to stop what I'm doing and take a break. It's like I've been at this for 2 hours, but instead of me just sitting down to take a break, it's like I gotta go for a smoke. So that's my biggest problem, is I don't stop working to take a break. So I use the cigarette as a crutch.
I think that I learned again that, you know, other people, everybody was kind of struggling. It was a, you know, it could be a struggle, but listening to people's, you know, experiences, other people's experiences, realizing that people are going through the same thing that you are, listening to their successes and things like that, I found to be helpful and to be a good experience.
I learned many coping strategies and added many tools to my tool belt, and that was really very helpful.
Try it. Honestly, try it. You don't have to quit right now. Try it. Do the whole 6 weeks. It's worth it. It's 110% worth it.
Oh, I would definitely say try it out, check it out. You'll like it, and it's helpful.
I would certainly tell them to join. You know what? It's a 6 weeks program, 2 hours a week, and you've got absolutely nothing to lose. Everyone can take 2 hours.
So I would encourage them to do so. I would say that I find it very helpful. I think that, you know, the program in itself is excellent. I feel that, you know, the funding and the time and everything that's offered to people at no expense to themselves is wonderful. And I think that they should definitely try it.
If I could say something to someone who was contemplating joining a QuitCore program, I would say you are worth it. Just do it.